been drinking. It's one of those long, boring nights, and my only companion is this Henry. I needed a walk to get a breath of fresh air, but instead my mind wandered from inebriation. And as I wandered, I stumbled upon a man that was posted on his pivot, lurking in the shadows at just the right angle, ready to pounce on unsuspecting victims that step within 90 degrees of his hypotenuse. You see, the alcohol blurred my peripherals, so the moment I entered his vicinity, he knew that he caught me slipping. And where I'm from, it's tradition that if a nigga looks like food, you eat him. Well done, so he raised the burner to my biscuit. His next words is what I'm repeating. You know what this is. Give it up before I introduce your brains to the semen. I was flabbergasted, awestruck, and left speechless. The only thing I could do was look at my aggressor to understand the seriousness of his action. Black hoodie to cover up any skin that may be descriptively tatted, and it seems as though the serial numbers have been shaven off the black 9 with electric tape wrapped around the handle that he gripped, which was accentuated by an extended clip in black gloves, so there will be no fingerprints. His face was shrouded behind the black bandana that was intricately folded so that the design looked like tears for this unshed crime that he was ready to commit. And even though I couldn't see his facial features, the chill from his ice grill made this warm summer's evening feel like the coldest winter ever. But there was no sister soldier nearby to offer words of wisdom about black on black crime to de-escalate the situation. I needed a moment of contemplation to pray for salvation, but my conversation with the Lord was cut abruptly short when he felt the barrel of that gun pressed against my forehead. He said, "Empty your pockets," but pride wouldn't let me do that. Sounds crazy, but I'd rather die than live for niggas to say I got my shit rigged. So I told him, with all due respect, that won't happen. And for the first time, our eyes connected. And when they did, I saw something that I never expected. Within him, I felt something I once knew. It's that feeling you get when you're at your wit's end as the world's crashing down upon you. I recognize his hunger. I see an uncanny resemblance. I said, "Do I know you? You look so familiar. I could have sworn that we met some time ago somewhere. Nigga, you not a homie. Don't front like you know me. I know it to live. My parents disown me. This block's my orphanage. My set is my family. And no offense, but my name rings bells, so I must put this work in. So in these streets I'm lurking to earn stripes and become a school of hard knocks graduate. Don't test me. This trigger itches and my index fingers ready to scratch it. Young man, you don't have to do this. It's one of those sins where the Lord may not accept excuses. Instead of robbing me of my fish, why not ask where the creek is? Even though you're in mode, I know this isn't a route you want to go. So breathe easy, put the gun down slow, and we both can go home. And it seemed as though I had reached them. And at that very moment, the thug with every intention to rob was gone. Instead, there stood a young man that some time ago lost his soul. And the only way to fill that void within him was through aiming his pistol. But it was a never-ending cycle, because every time he robbed, that void grew until his appetite became so insatiable that the hood was shook of his stomach rumbles. And before long, that young man remembered his hunger and he reaffirmed his clutch on that burner. But I didn't give him a chance to flame me. Instead, I swung this bottle of Hennessy that I held in my hand as hard as I can at the temple of his head. The sound of it hitting his skull was synonymous with this gunfire ring. Its slug, I could feel myself collapse just before everything went black, and I didn't even hear the blast, just the sound of broken shards of glass hitting the floor. I could feel my shirt soaking up the blood. I opened my eyes, but the corporal was gone. I felt my shirt, but there was no blood, just a broken bathroom mirror. Tricks my mom was playing. Call it a side effect of my inebriation. You see, the entire time I was being robbed by my reflection.